So now the cake is being chilling and then quite firm. You can see the ganache is all not sticky and it is now good to go. Now I'm just going to move towards carving and getting the shape of the handbag. I have the reference image with me. So I'm just going to keep this along and then keep watching as I change the shape by carving. So you could choose to use serrated knife or also sometimes the knife that is comfortable to you in the kitchen, or for intricate carving where, like, smaller areas you just want to soften up or round it out, and because it is sharp and things like that, I'm just going to switch between all these three as I'm going to carve. So first let me start with a serrated knife. I also have a plate to just remove off the extra cakes as I carve, to just put it away. So the first thing I need to look at is the bottom has to be quite bulky, right? And then the bulk will be here all the way up until here, and then it is going to taper down. So the first thing I will look at is to remove some part of this, and I'm just going to use this angle, hold the knife and then just pass through, because the handbag is not going to be sharp around in here. So the first step I will do is to remove this part. And similarly to the other side. And then the next thing I'm going to do is to just smooth out. If there's excess ganache on the way, I'm just going to get rid of all of that. You could save these extra cake and the ganache that is coming through, because we may need that for using to build extra bulk or height by just mixing up the cake crumbs and the ganache. That will become like a cake pop mixture. I'm just going to remove off all the sharp ends. It's good that it is quite firm, and that way it will just help the carving. You don't want to have like a very soft cake. I'm going to soften up the sides as well here. I'm just going to do the same thing to the other side. And then we're also going to get rid of these sharp areas. So the next thing, I'm just going to check if both the sides are even. I'm just getting rid of this bottom to make it look like it is not like extremely flat at the base. I'll do that all around. Just going to get rid of this bulk here which is not needed. Also, it's just going to get narrow here. It's not a flat thing on either side on the top. Just checking the symmetry on both the sides to just see how the plane works. We will be able to fix a bit with ganache, but the cake, we just need to make sure on top of the cake there will be ganache, and then on top of that there will be fondant. So we need to give that leverage for having the thickness of the ganache, because that is also going to come in. So as we carve the cake, the shape or the size that we need should be pretty much lesser than the final output of the handbag or any carved cake for that matter that we are giving. So if you think the size should be so much, then the cake itself should not be that much size, because you need to keep in mind the ganache will come and then fondant will come too. So you can just see the symmetry now. Here I should just cut out a bit. I'm just checking at my eye level to see how much I just need to do that. Now these two sides look fine to me, so I'm just going to look at the symmetry on this side. Okay, so now the shape looks pretty much okay. I just want to look into this image. Now you can see there is the dent there, right? So I'm just going to cut out like one dent creating, so it looks like, you know, the handbag comes all the way up there, bulges and goes inside and then comes out, and that will be there on both the sides. So just do that. Maybe let me just switch over to the other knife. Just going to use this at an angle. And then here again we don't want it like quite sharp, so I'm again switching over to another smaller knife. It's going to look at the eye level. To make it look even. I'm just making the cut deep because, like I said, there will be ganache and fondant as well. So the actual cake, the final handbag, will not have such a deep cut. So this side is fine. We're just moving on to the other side. Just checking through both the sides to see if the dent is like uniform on both sides. And just soften up using your hands as well, because the cake would be firm for you to just meddle with a bit. Okay, so now I think the shape looks good. And now before moving on to even the crumb coat, I just feel this needs to firm up a bit, and then we just need to get rid of all the cake crumbs. And I'll get back after maybe firming for about half an hour to 1 hour and clear this up, and then I'll get ready to do the crumb coat. And if it is like quite fine and not catching up on like too much of crumbs, then we don't even need a crumb coat. We could just finish up with a ganache. So see you in that lesson.